Episode 13.
I think I'm going to drop the Spanish bit.
Say it ain't so.
The reason is because I feel like I'm part fluent now.
Oh.
And I don't want to become like
fully... Are you sure it's not like you've reached your full potential and
you've
learned all 12?
No, I can count to, I think the highest I've counted one time in Spanish is 1,248.
Well, I'm glad that we're all on the same page. You're not doing the Spanish anymore.
But
it's kind of crazy though. It's episode 13. Do you feel like that?
Oh yeah. It's the first time I've done 13 of anything in my whole life.
It's true. You tried 13 push-ups this morning.
Yes.
It's tough. It's tough.
It was tough. 13 reps of anything, 13
minutes in the sauna.
Reasons why, 13 minutes in the sauna, 13 minutes for the rest of your life.
Well, anyway, it's kind of crazy. It does. I feel like we're going to say this more and more over time, but the first 13 episodes really haven't felt like it's flown by.
We're doing 52 this year.
52 this year, maybe more. Who knows?
Oh, maybe a cool bonus more. College football episodes because you like college football.
Oh, I love college football. We're going to get you into it. Going to be a good old South Carolina fan. You remember?
We got to do my fandom. We got to go to a couple stadiums, get a feel for it.
We'll do a little search for Christian's fandom. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Another idea that you had. Look, you had a good idea of dropping the Spanish.
I'm telling you what,
good idea of this. Third good idea of the day is a new segment that was like on this day in the world. Like probably sports, but like could be anything really, right?
Could be anything. Entertainment,
so
sports,
the day that the podcast goes out, right?
Political. Yes. Yeah. So the day the podcast goes out, we're going to do a look back in history. So on March 28th, the day you were listening to this, maybe, potentially, in 1891, March 28th, 1891, the world's first weightlifting championship took place.
That's pretty awesome.
I know that holds true to your heart or dear or in your heart somewhere because you're a big weightlift guy.
Wait, you said 1891?
1891.
I wonder what weights looked like then.
And that's according to the fact site. So it's reputable.
You know what they say. If it's on the internet, that's how you know.
And it was held in London. Okay. And the winner was Edward L. Levy from England. That sounds such like an Edward L. Levy.
Do you know what he lifted? Like not weight-wise, just what
it says the first world championship saw only 7 athletes from 6 countries. The three-day event consisted of repetition and alternating pressing with 56 or 84 pounds in each hand.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
So who knows? But that's what happened, I guess, over 100 years ago.
That's a fun segment.
Boom.
Boom.
Should we get into college basketball?
We should. Dude, this year has been insane.
I've heard it said multiple times, but unprecedented.
Well, to back that up, this is the first time in all of history that there hasn't been a number 1 seed in the Elite Eight.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure, didn't confirm it, you can blame Christian if not, but I think it's the first time that no number 1 or 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3 seeds have been in the Final Four.
Yes, and it's the first time since 2011 that no number 1 seeds.
Which is, so really is nuts. The teams, FAU, Miami, UConn, and SDSU, like.
I mean, they're here.
Great locations.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Connecticut.
Great locations. I would be so fired up to see FAU win this.
I would too. And because the number 8 seed has won it before, but never a 9.
Never a 9.
8 is the lowest seed that's ever won.
Never
or I guess
won the
seed.
college basketball championship.
That would, FAU would be a cool one to do that for.
Yeah. But what do you think about those games?
Dude, they've been
nuts. How about UConn winning by 30 against Gonzaga?
That was nuts.
Or 28 or whatever it was. But that's
been a weird balance of some really close ones and then 30 there. Like FAU barely beat Memphis and could go on to win it all. That's what's crazy about March Madness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have probably lost.
Potentially maybe they win it all or could have lost first round.
So, and I also watched the second half of the Creighton-San Diego State game.
Mm-hmm.
What a great game that was. Controversial foul call. I don't know if you saw it, but
no, I missed that one.
The San Diego State guy was driving in and just did like a floater, and the guy from Creighton like grabbed his hip a little bit, and they called it. And so he missed the first free throw and then made the second. There was like 2 seconds left or something. So, but a couple good games there. I mean, to be honest, though, it's going to be really tough for someone to beat UConn, especially what they just did at Gonzaga.
Well, and this would be win number 5 for them, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah, you're right. Like national championships.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like all
So,
time.
I don't know if it's all time or when it
Fact
started.
check. Look it up.
We're
Joe
gonna look this
Rogan
up
style.
right now. Joe Rogan style.
Gosh, that Florida Atlantic Kansas State also was a great game.
That was a good one. Well, while I'm looking this up, who do you have for the SDSU FAU, or who do you want to win? I guess. Maybe
So I want FAU to win. I think there's no chance. San Diego State has looked so good, but I would like FAU to win. I just think that the defense of San Diego State. But I don't know. I go back and forth because this tournament, who knows? Like really, who knows? I mean, FAU could get hot from downtown, and it doesn't matter about SDSU's defense as much.
I would love one of those two teams to win it all. I think I'm okay. SDSU or FAU want Miami to beat UConn just because I think that'd be fun.
Yep.
And then at that point, don't really care who wins it all. But I looked it up, and UConn won in 99, 2004, 2011, and 2014.
UConn won in 2014.
So we begin. Yep, they won in 2014. They beat
This would be
Kentucky.
5.
So this will be 5. Anyway, it's an interesting tournament to say the least. This year didn't disappoint.
No, it has
It's
not
gonna be fun.
disappointed. And I'm really interested to see who ends up winning this bad boy.
Yeah. Prediction right now. Who are you going with?
UConn.
I'm going to go SDSU.
Oh,
That'll be
fair
my pick right now.
FAU beats SCSU.
I mean, I would love that.
Yeah, I would
but
like that
prediction
too.
wise.
Yeah.
Then in women's basketball,
Oh,
obviously South Carolina's doing great, whatever. But in the NIT, right?
mhm.
I'll let you have this one.
So Memphis in the women's basketball NIT, which is where it's at. I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but the
Following
ratings
it like crazy.
are through the roof for the women's basketball NIT. But
They should be after this.
But the Memphis player, she punched a Bowling Green player, and then I think got charged with assault, like officially like charged.
In the handshake line, right?
Yes.
Like not during the game. It's
No,
like, hey,
after.
good game, good game.
Bang. And I don't know like what, which way she was swinging or what, what was going on.
Was it an
but
uppercut?
yeah.
Was it a gut? It was in the face, right?
I don't even know if
Or-
it was televised nationally.
It should be. But I feel like that's very notable in sports
Yeah.
this week. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. That's awesome.
Can you imagine if that happened? Dude, what if that happened for like
I would-
in like the actual men's college, but like if Duke did it, like, oh,
So I was at the South Carolina Clemson football game where there was the massive fight where like they were
yeah.
kicking people's
Football's
heads, like
also a little
swinging
different.
helmets. But it was the greatest thing ever. And so I would lose my mind if I was at a game that just burst out in a fight.
Side note, in high school, it was an away game, so I wasn't there. But football wise, it's of course a few buddies on the football team. They got in a huge brawl with the opposing team, and like 12 people got suspended.
That's awesome.
And it was unbelievable. And none of them regretted it. They were like, "This is awesome."
No, well, you asked me today, we were doing a workout, and you're like, have you ever punched someone in the face? I'm like, no, but I kind of wish I did. But
Yeah,
the time's kind of
Especially-
lost. The time's gone on that. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot to lose these days.
especially in
high
like a sports setting.
school. Oh, yeah.
I did chirp a little bit, but
Dang
anyway,
it.
we got some more updates besides college
More updates.
basketball. We had the Dell match play,
Mhm.
which it is the match play, but it is the only event in the on the tour that is not stroke play, and they're actually doing away with it. This is the last year.
I was talking to someone, I was like, I felt like Christian said they're doing away with it.
As of a couple weeks ago, like the Dell, the sponsorship has dropped, and then a couple other things, and this is the last year. And I think they're replacing it with the stroke play. And I get it, like, because the final day, right, you only have 4 golfers because you play the semifinal match and then you play the finals. So you play 36 plus holes. And there's only 4 golfers on the course when normally it's like 64 or however many make the cut.
Pretty fun, though.
So it is fun. I think they need to do more like even we talked about this. Even if it's not like actual events, like a PJ win, they need to do more like a country club member guest, or just more like fun like 9-hole matchups like that hold weight maybe like sponsorship wise and money, but like don't actually count as like a PGA Tour win.
Good luck getting the PGA to go for anything fun.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, Sam Burns won. He destroyed Cameron Young in the finals. It was actually shocking because Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, played Sam Burns. They're really good friends. They like vacation together. They're really good buddies. And Sam Burns won on like the 22nd hole. And then Roy McIlroy played Cam Young. So everyone thought Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler were going to play each other, and they both lost. So it was Sam Burns.
I took a nap to it.
You
I
should
cut
do
it on just for the nap. It was great.
It was fun. I love match play. Like I just love playing match play, like in general, like on the
fun.
golf course. So
Then First Citizens bought Silicon Valley Bank. Do you know what the price on that was?
I think it was, why do I want to say 90 billion?
I don't know. Fact
Or
check.
maybe that's the assets that
We
Silicon Valley
hold
Bank has.
high accountability to the words we say here and are fact checking. And
We
by
fact
high
check
accountability, we mean very moderate accountability.
So, but this holds like dear to my heart. Or
Yeah.
near to, why do I keep saying dear to my heart? I feel like I want to shoot a deer or something. Maybe it's buck season.
I want to shoot a deer right in the heart.
Wait, is it turkey season? But so I used to bank with First Citizens. So it's like my family bank in
Yeah.
South Hill. There's one of the only banks in South Hill.
South Hills.
South Hills. First Citizens shares soar 45% after they buy a large chunk.
Oh, so they didn't buy it.
So their shares just. Oh, I got to call my buddy Bart about this because he works for them. I don't know. I can't find it. To purchase assets. Wow. With the purchase. That's just a long part. With the purchase of most of Silicon Valley Bank's business, First Citizens will now be slightly larger than Silicon Valley Bank before its collapse. So now they'll have like 220 billion in assets. So anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, so First Citizens is making that move.
Like the Panthers right now.
Don't even get me started.
Pinning Bank of America versus First Citizens there. See what I did that?
Ooh, I
Bank of
see.
America Stadium.
I see what you did there, man. Gosh, you're intelligent. And then what's this arrest you have on Trump, or the update you have on Trump?
Well, you
here?
told everyone Trump was getting arrested, so
He never got arrested. Shocker.
update done.
Yeah. Shocker. He never got arrested.
They're
He was
like
just
the fake AI images of
Yes.
him on the ground or
Oh,
something.
I watched a YouTube video yesterday, and it was like the AI version of presidents playing Wii golf.
That's hilarious.
It was Barack, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden playing Wii golf.
So funny.
You should watch it. It's actually hilarious.
Send me the link because we'll put it in the show notes even because that just sounds great. And then have you caught up with Ted Lasso the first 2 episodes?
Yes, watch first.
What are the thoughts on? We're gonna go spoilers here, so
Oh,
if you want to skip ahead, but we're going spoilers. Well, not really. It's 2 episodes in, but what are your thoughts at this point?
So I'm trying to think where it left off. They signed Zaba.
Yeah,
was where it left off.
And it looked like Jamie was a little bit unsure about how that's going to happen.
He's going with a hot shot, sexy guy.
Everyone else is pumped about him. He's a little in his feels, a little insecure.
First of all, I just love the show. I mean, just in general, I just think it's hilarious. But it'll be interesting to see where it goes because they're picked, I think, to finish last this season.
Yeah,
by everyone. And I think it's going to be kind of one of those feel-good seasons, but they're definitely going to renew and have another season. So, like, I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to have, like, a lot of momentum.
Because what was it? The Nate said, it's like, why are they ranked whatever? It's like, because they couldn't be ranked 31st or whatever.
Oh, Nate.
Brutal.
Yeah,
what do you think about
Manchester
Nate's right now?
Is it Manchester United or City?
No, it's
City. Manchester City. West Ham.
West Ham.
That's what it is.
West Ham.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
And how cute was like Ted Lasso's reaction? He was like, well, wish the best for him, you know?
Yeah.
And he said they got lucky. He's a good coach.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know, I did expect he could do a little better. Like, you know, how dumb of American I am. What are y'all supposed to say? Y'all supposed to say, how dumb are you?
Yeah, he's
I thought that was hilarious. But you know, that was a feel good response where he's like, no, I'm going to do it the
it's
Ted
actually
Lasso
such a
way.
feel good show.
It is. Dude, I'm all about the show and the sponsorships and FIFA.
Wow. I really wish I had enough money to where I could somehow invest in it.
That'd be sick. It's an empire that's happening right now. The real question of the show is Roy Kent and Keeley. What's happening there?
Oh, they broke up.
They got to get back together.
I love
the metaphor that he did. And then what is it? Trent Krim, independent. He's like, sport. It's a great metaphor for life.
Dude, I love how like everyone asks him like, oh, what happened with you and Keeley? I'm sorry she dumped you. He's like I dumped her.
They're like, why? Anyway, next episode's Wednesday.
Man.
So super pumped. I love that show.
I love that show so
I think
much.
it's good that they're doing it 1 week at a time. Selfishly, I would love to just binge it, but
I
it's kind
will-
of better. Delayed gratification.
I will say, and maybe we could do this segment, like another quick thing, weekly recommendation on Netflix or like streaming. And so the reason I say this is because me and Becca binge watched 10 episodes of this season in like 2 days. And it's called Night Agent.
Huh.
And it's about like this like FBI guy who works in the basement and just answers phone calls, like is now on this huge mission because the White House is corrupt. And it's like a really cool plot and storyline.
That's fascinating. We've been watching Poker Face. Did I tell you about it? It's
Yes.
on. Did you watch any of it?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's been pretty interesting. It's just a fun, different.
So that'd be
premise.
your weekly recommendation?
Yeah, that's my weekly recommendation.
Mine's Night Agent. Gosh, it's so good.
And
I love
we're
poker
not, by the
drums.
way, we're not committing to weekly. It's whenever we want to say it. So just, you got to listen to every episode
Yeah.
and share it with all of your friends always. See what I did there?
Outer Banks was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball is back. College baseball is in full swing. South Carolina, obviously, you're about to be a huge fan, but it's 23-1. They're off to a hot start, which is fun for the first time in a while. And then MLB is coming back Thursday, which I'm pumped about. So, in honor of that,
Yeah. So Jose, we're gonna go through a few of like Jose. We're gonna go through a few free agents, just some things that have been shaken up in the MLB over the offseason, with opening day coming up on March 30th. So just run down a couple of the biggest transactions. Jose Abreu, the beast of a first baseman, is now transitioning from the Chicago White Sox to the Houston Astros on a 3-year, $58 million contract. That's actually huge for the Astros because he's a beast. And then you have Xander Bogaerts, which arguably is one of the biggest surprises of free agency, who signed a 11-year, $280 million contract with San Diego in December.
they're making some moves.
Beast of a shortstop. Obviously, you all know him from Boston, from the Red Sox. But first of all, he's 30, and so this contract expires when he's 41 years old.
I think we talked about it a little bit a while ago where, I mean, players obviously want security. It's easier for teams to restructure deals if you just put it off. And I'm sure there's conditionals on it. And
There has to be, right?
you call it a 10-year deal. They feel happy that you can retire there. It could work out. But it is getting nuts.
It is. And I think like their agents of these, MLB players are like, hey, he's probably has like 4 more good years, maybe 5, but teams are willing to pay that, right? Like they have Manny Machado, like they have a good core. So,
And like
teams
you
are willing to
can
pay
keep being good into your 40s. It's harder, but like you can do it for
Baseball's
sure.
one of those things. You can like DH, or do something.
Yeah.
So, and then Dalton Varsho, who he set the career high or his career high in homers, 27, is now with the Toronto Blue Jays, which they have an unbelievable young core. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, George Springer. Blue Jays are looking solid.
Yep.
And then my favorite to round it out here, and there's obviously a few more, but the heavy hitters, Trey Turner with the Philadelphia Phillies on a $300 million, 11-year deal, which I think is almost the exact same thing Bryce Harper got. Bryce Harper might got 10 years for $300 million.
putting
So the
some money
Phillies
there.
have $600 million tied up between Trey Turner and Bryce
It's
Harper.
nuts. They got to be making a move, which, because like with the Mets, did you see Edwin Diaz in the World
Yeah.
Baseball Classic where he was celebrating after the
Oh
win,
my gosh.
Puerto Rico over the DR?
That's
And
a
then
huge
he's out for 8
bummer.
months.
That's how bad that is for the Mets.
It's tough, but then you've probably seen the arguments of people talking about, does that mean you shouldn't be like,
in the
should these
world.
MLB stars be able to play in World Baseball Classic? And I don't know. It's so important. What's your thought before I go anywhere with it?
Well, the World Baseball Classic's not that. It's not like the Olympics or something where I don't know. I almost kind of agree. Like if someone pays someone that much money and they get hurt in like an off season, I don't know.
I mean, it's tricky, no doubt. But I think it's so big for some of these smaller countries, and it's great for baseball around the world.
Yeah,
where
I agree.
In America, yeah, it seems dumb, but for these countries, these are huge, and it's getting people into the sport from
Yeah.
different places.
And
in the
America
world.
didn't even win.
Yeah.
So
Because it's like, it's not a big deal in America because we got the MLB, but like in Puerto Rico or the DR,
Yeah.
like it's a big deal.
yeah, that's a good point.
So,
It's so tough. Pros and cons of both sides. of
yeah,
that.
but I get it.
Last thing I'll say though is Sean Murphy, the catcher, is now with the Atlanta Braves.
Mm.
So he was a
Yeah.
beast at Oakland. He had a Gold Glove, and so now he's with the Braves, who have
Braves.
won 5 straight NL East pennants.
And it's about to be another one. It's about to be 6 straight.
I don't know, man.
Let's go.
Phillies also Nats suck, but Phillies.
Yeah, it's not going to be the Nats. Look, if you said the Mets, Sure, makes sense.
Mets
You
are
said the
pretty good,
Braves?
yeah.
Sure, makes sense. You said the Phillies? Sure, makes sense. If you say the Nats, you're getting booed off the stage. That is the dumbest
There's
thing.
a chance that 3 teams from NL East
Well,
make the playoffs.
That was last year.
That's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
a chance again 3
The
teams.
third place team in the NL East went to the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Isn't that
nuts.
crazy?
That's nuts.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Phillies, for those who don't know.
Your second backup favorite MLB team, depending on how good they are that season.
They're my favorite this year.
All right, feel good time. You know what time it is.
Oh, Iceman.
Iceman.
Tell Iceman to come visit Richmond.
Dude, he should come.
What's he doing?
Not in Richmond.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, Iceman.
Where's
This
our
is your
guy
invite.
live?
Columbia, South Carolina. Actually, Blythewood, South Carolina. A little bit outside of Columbia.
Bluffton?
Blythewood.
Oh, Blythewood.
Bluffton's down at the beach near Hilton Head.
Gotcha.
We used to have some baseball tournaments down there. It's pretty sweet.
Bluff Dog?
Yeah. Anyway.
This week's Unsung Hero comes to us from the JUCO rankings. Best known for the Last Chance U series and otherwise, junior college has gotten a little more attention in recent years. However, it's Northwest College's wrestling team out in Wyoming that deserves today's attention. 2 wrestlers, Brady Lowry and Kendall Cummings, along with 2 other teammates, went for a hike late last fall. While they were out in this Yellowstone area, they were attacked by a grizzly bear. Now, here's a couple combine stats the NFL Network won't tell you. A grizzly bear can run up to 30 miles an hour. It weighs about 500 pounds and can crush a bowling ball with its jaws. So when you get in attack with a grizzly bear, the best advice survivalists even tell you is just to play dead. Well, the bear begins to attack Kendall, and Brady does everything in his power to scare off the bear. He throws rocks at the bear, he yells at the bear, and finally, his wrestling instincts kick in, and Brady jumps on the bear's back and begins pulling hair at its neck, gouging its eyes, and poking it in the ears. He was successful. The bear was distracted and let go of Kendall, but as Brady got off the bear turned on him, and with 2 big strides, the bear had gotten him to the ground and began to claw at him, smack him with its paws, and eventually even biting it with its jaws in several places. Brady eventually plays dead long enough that the bear gets distracted and goes off into the woods, but not without significant injuries, to the point that the 2 other teammates present eventually called 911, and the 2 Kendall and Brady were medevaced off the mountain. Later in a Billings, Montana hospital room, they began to talk about what happened that day, and both realized that they needed each other and their teammates in order to survive the scary scenario. What happens next is pretty impressive. So about 100 days after the attack, the Northwest College wrestling team was having a meet, and Brady entered the ring again. We're only 100 days removed from being literally inches from losing his life by a grizzly bear attack. But Brady gets in the ring and loses a close decision. But throughout the match, you hear the stories that both sides were just cheering for him on and on to give his best effort. And by the end of the match, he was greeted by Kendall Cummings, who helped him step out of the ring and realize that some things are just bigger than sports. So here's to you, Brady and Kendall, for not only dodging death, but for being this week's Unsung Heroes.
Wow.
I remember
That's so
seeing like pictures and like little articles on Instagram about it.
Oh, really?
But I didn't know all that in depth. Also, like the bears can run 30 miles an hour downhill. They can climb trees. Like there's nothing you can do really with the grizzly bear except for that.
He jumped
me
on
fired up.
his back.
That's so cool.
What would I don't even know what I mean, survival instincts kick in, but like, what do you do in that situation?
That's wild. Like
I'd
once
pro-
it turns back on you,
Yeah.
like the jumping on its back while it's on your friend, like that kind of makes sense. But then when it turns back on you, it's like, does the friend jump, like the injured friend now jump on the back? Like, what do you do there?
Goodness.
But that is nuts.
That's like a worst nightmare type of thing.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Kind of-
can you imagine if you're hiking and we just saw a huge grizzly bear?
This is where I'm so weird. That kind of story gets me fired up. I'm like, oh, that'd be sick to fight a bear like that. I'm weird.
It's like that one question we had a few podcasts ago.
Oh,
It's
the
like,
orangutan, versus
orangutan and the
chickens.
chicken. You're like, I could definitely take an orangutan.
This is my proof right here. This guy, I'm citing him.
Dude, if you took, I would pay money to watch you take a grizzly bear.
Oh, that, I mean, grizzly bear is different than orangutan, especially when I have a sword. If I have a sword for a grizzly bear,
Have you ever used a sword?
yes. I used to chop trees. I just like would grab swords and attack trees with them. Then my parents got mad that I was like chopping at trees.
So similar, you're right. Tree orangutan. Okay. I'm with you. I'm on your side now.
I mean, I'm not into fencing if that's what you're asking. I didn't go to like Princeton.
I didn't know if you were like, you trained, if your family was like royalty out in the Caribbean or something.
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to share that on the podcast.
Joe's net worth is $1 billion.
$12 billion.
Should we do the Florida man and potentially go 9 for 4 here?
9 and 4.
I'm never going to stop saying that.
All right. I'm definitely in my head on this. So here we go.
I'm going to call it out before you say it. No.
That'll be hilarious. Story number 1. A Florida man called 911 and told police that he was just robbed at gunpoint by 2 men. When police arrived on scene, they quickly realized that no robbery had taken place. When police questioned the man about why he called and lied, he confessed that he didn't want to show up to a shift at Hardee's, so he called 911 to say he had been robbed. We all get that again.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. Okay.
Story number 2. A Florida man called 911 and told dispatch that he witnessed a man wearing a dark gray hoodie breaking into a house down the street. The man believed this diversion would occupy police and allow him to burglarize a nearby residence without police interference. The man ended the 911 call before leaving ditch patch.
The man
The man ended the 911 call before leaving dispatch with the location, so police tracked the phone they received the call from. When police arrived at the phone's location, they discovered the man wearing a gray hoodie breaking into a home, just as the man had said.
So wait, he broke into the same house?
No, he like broke into a house down the street, but he had his phone on him. They tracked his phone to him.
Oh gosh! At first, my gut instinct. Oh gosh, should I go? I feel like I should go. My gut instinct has been so right. I feel like I have to go.
You gotta trust it.
So you messed up more when you said story number 2, and so that's the one that you made up originally, is what I thought. Right? That's the fake one. But my gut my gut is telling me to go against my gut now and say.
My guy's making no sense here. All right, what you got? What you got?
I'm going to go with the gut and say story 2 is fake.
That's right.
Yes! Woo, baby. You always go with the gut with these. You always go with the gut.
This crazy. I feel like it's like a coin flip to some degree. Like, I'm curious if we reach like a stretch where I'm just winning constantly. Because it's like, how did you decide between the two of those?
Gut.
Really? It was just like gut? Like,
so honestly, it was because you messed up more on story 2. So my gut said that you made that up because story 1, you just like copied essentially from the article.
But wouldn't it make sense if that was the one that was then harder for me to read because it wasn't something I had made up? It was something that was coming from my mind.
No, because this one has typos in it.
But they both have typos in them.
I don't know. I just felt like the one that you messed up more would be the one that
Interesting.
is fake. Because you had to like go through your head twice. Like you had to go through your head to make it up.
That makes sense.
And then you had to go through your head to read it.
I need to start making them up earlier. Dang. That sucks because it was like such a good story, but because I stumbled reading it. That's what's so hard about this. I got to like make up easy ones. I've got to read them equally. And then you've got to not be able to see my face and then guess the difference.
I didn't look at your face.
But like in general, like even when you look back at me, like I can't give anything away. I've got to read them even and have the stories even. It's tricky.
I think
I really thought I had you there.
You dug yourself a hole. See, but my gut almost went against my gut because my gut said story 2.
I think you're calling your gut now your brain if it's this convoluted.
No, my gut is my gut instinct. What I think is fake.
Yeah, but then how can your gut go against your gut if your gut was saying something?
Because my initial instinct with my gut said story 2 is fake. But because I thought that, I go, there's no way I get
So that's your mind. You said because I thought that. That's not gut.
And there's no way that my gut's right. Yeah, you're right. Because there's no way my gut's right 5 straight times.
That's your mind.
But it is. But
Dang.
it is.
Yeah, I was like, how hilarious would that story be if he's like, yeah, the guy's wearing a gray hoodie and he's just wearing a gray hoodie. He just gets tracked to himself. Anyway.
What's that? 9? 9, baby.
9. I'm about to give up on this segment. We might have to flip the script
Honestly,
and you come up with them.
I might have to come up with them because you're so bad at it.
Jeez. Even though every time you're like, my gut, eeny, meeny, miny, 2. I'm even like going back and like, okay, when do I go story 1's true and when do I fake? And like, am I doing a pattern that he's picking up on?
So I haven't realized the pattern. I haven't wrote it down, but I just based on the 2 stories, it's whatever my gut says. My mind said story 1. My gut said story 2 is fake.
Ridiculous. What's your growth mindset?
So I feel like this for me is going to be my last one about morning routine. And then I'm probably going to switch it up a little bit.
How's it been going?
Things are going well, man. We have our kind of set in stone Monday, Friday workouts, which have been good. Just knock some workout before and then go work out a little later and then get in a better mindset. just for the day overall. But overall, I'd say morning routine has been going well. I haven't done as good of a job as sticking with everything I want to do. Like I feel like I've done a decent job at sticking with the gym, but I haven't done a decent job at like reading the Bible like I want, or just like reading in general. Like the goal is just like open it and just read a little bit every morning. And haven't been doing as good of a job with that. But yeah, we just wrapped up our 100-day streak. So now we're on to something new, baby.
Nice. It's tricky. I kind of want to stick with the fitness one because it's been working. I feel pretty good. Like I feel like I'm starting to get back in shape. I like that feeling. But I'm torn between sticking with that another week or trying to focus on a better job of cutting work off at night. Because I think it all feeds. I think I'm going to make that my goal. Like I want to work less and put them into like better, like have it not bleed from work to everything else. And then I think if I have a better night routine, that then impacts the morning.
Absolute, dude.
So I think
100%.
I think that should be my goal this week of like picking a real cutoff and then not like actually cutting off from work when I do that, not like trickling on.
Well, I'm sure you've heard saying it's like your morning routine actually begins the night
it's
before.
like everything's just a life cycle and you keep doing it. Everything
Like last
impacts
night
each other.
we finished the last 2 episodes of Night Agent. Well, I say
which I'm about to
finished.
watch.
I say finished, but we watched 6 episodes yesterday in total.
So you finished.
But there was like 9 o'clock or 9:15. And I was like, all right, we're done. We have 2 episodes left, but it's 9:15. I really need to wake up early in the morning. And then we watched the last 2. And so then we got done like 11. And so the alarm was a little tougher this morning. But that's
fair.
on me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, for the draft, we were thinking athletic wear brands.
Boom.
Boom. Odd episode. You get to go first. What you got?
I go back and forth because there's such a big difference, like style, like the actual sexiness, and like how it performs.
Yeah. Price.
You know what I'm saying?
How it fits.
Well, yeah, and
all
like
the things.
like how like if you're working out, like you want something that is like feels good when you're working out, not necessarily the best looking. Anyway, but I'm gonna go as a whole. My number one brand is Adidas or Adidas for those listeners in Europe and other parts.
For the rest of the world.
For the rest of the world,
I get it.
One, love their shoes. I wear a lot of Adidas shoes.
Yep.
One, they own TaylorMade, which I love. TaylorMade.
I did not know that.
Golf.
Interesting.
And between those two, and I just like kind of like Adidas shirts, like just like workout t-shirts pretty well. So for me, number one, because it's all encompassing, Adidas.
Yep. Number one for me, I'm going to go with Nike. It's the classic uniforms, shoes, clothes. It's everything you want.
Number two for me, I feel like it's just a given almost. And I hate doing givens, but it's Under Armour.
No, that's fair.
Right?
You got to
Like,
grab
it's
that.
just-
If I took Nike, you got to get the other powerhouse.
It's just a solid brand.
I'm going to go with Viore.
Oh,
It's an up and coming for me. I love the way their stuff feels, and I love their board shorts. So Viore is my new one.
out.
Yeah, big fan.
Number three for me, because also it's all encompassing, is Lululemon.
I was torn between that. That was a great pick.
So yeah, they have great. It's obviously expensive.
Yeah.
But they have great athletic stuff. But also their pants. They're like work pants or like like going out pants. Oh,
Those are real good.
oh.
I'm gonna go with Gymshark.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, great stuff, but affordable too.
Number four, I am gonna go with New Balance. And the only reason I say that is because I am a fan of their sneakers, but also they actually have some pretty good workout stuff.
Nice. I'm gonna go with pick number 3. Pick number 4. I'm gonna go with Dick's Sporting Goods brand, the DSG brand.
Oh,
Good little
that's a
value
good
pick
one.
there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 5, to wrap it out, I'm going to go with an old brand that I think is making a reappearance.
I think you're gonna do my 5th one.
Champion.
Yeah, that was my 5th one.
And they did their hoodies and sweatshirts. Big fan.
I had that 5th. I'm gonna go with the brand that I don't have anything of, but I like the way that they look, and I want to get
like
something
that.
of. Rowback.
Oh, I do like Roback.
Yeah,
We got to get them to sponsor the pod, bro.
that'd be sick.
Good time.
All right. Well, hopefully this pod was mildly entertaining. Going with a little bit different, mixing it up, kind of off-season vibes. keeping it short.
A little bit.
Little
Yeah.
bit. So we're gonna
I
be
think
back.
I like, honestly, if there's a heavy topic, I like longer, but then if there's like, just do a couple cool things and then
Yeah. So anyway, this
Peace.
was episode 13. Peace.
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 Say.